Hi Sarah, thanks a lot for talking with us.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah, so our store is on strike. We're striking for our unfair labor practices that we've been subjected to while we wait for our election vote. Today, we shut it down yesterday by surprising them. We told them at 4:25 a.m. that we wouldn't be showing up at 4:30 a.m. to stock the store. So we shut it down yesterday. Today, they've brought in managers from all over the city. Our district managers, our regional director even is in here, store managers, to keep the store open while the workers are on strike. These are all salaried managers. There's no hourly workers working in here right now, so everything the company makes off the store today is total profit. They just want to keep this store going, and they're so desperate to ignore the dozens and dozens of voices right outside that are telling them Starbucks no more. And that's what we're saying going on strike. We're saying no more unfair labor practices. Stop cutting our hours, staff our stores appropriately, stop writing people up for things they've never even been coached on, and just let us be a union, Starbucks. It's all we want. It's all we want. The store is in unanimous support for a union, and we're tired of waiting for an election. We're tired of waiting to vote. Just recognize the union, Starbucks.
How long have you been waiting? When did you file for election?
We filed for election on January 25th. We had to go through our hearing because Starbucks was still this was before Starbucks was stipulating. So Starbucks was forcing every store that filed to go through a hearing to determine if a store was a valid bargaining unit. They argued that it has to be a district. This has been argued to the NLRB like dozens of times at this point across the country. The NLRB has pretty much always said like, no, a single store is a valid unit. It's particularly insulting for us in this store because half of our district is in Bremerton, a 2-hour ferry ride away. I didn't even know we had stores in Bremerton until we started our hearing. So it's obvious that the district's not a valid bargaining unit. It's obvious that this question of like, is the district a valid bargaining unit, even when it's in a better condition, like a more strong argument, they still are saying no. So just let us vote already. It's been 42 days since our hearing with the NLRB ended, and we have no idea when our election's going to be.
We hear a lot about union busting tactics of Starbucks. Did you experience this here?
Yeah, we've been experiencing really severe tactics. So they've cut our hours severely. A lot of people have lost hours. I am an 8-year supervisor. I've pretty much always gotten like right around 38 hours a week. I've been getting scheduled for 26 hours a week. That's a 32% reduction in my income. We live paycheck to paycheck. We can't weather that kind of a thing. When we told them we couldn't weather it, they said, oh, you can pick up hours at other stores. Well, every other store is also cutting their hours, so nobody had as many shifts for us. When we told them that, they said, well, get a second job. And we said, hey, well, are you going to use that as justification to cut our hours even further? And then we'll lose our benefits that are based on hours, like healthcare, like our school. And they said, I don't know. Then they said, well, why don't you just go get a second job if you're so miserable here? And when we told them, no, we're not leaving, we're staying, we're fighting for this union in this store. Now that's why they're trying to write us up for things we've never even been coached on. They've realized that they can't force us out of the store, and they know they can't fire us for unionizing. So they're trying to fire us for anything that they can make up.
But the Starbucks workers, it looks like they triggered a wave. You triggered a wave. There are Verizon workers unionizing, Amazon in Staten Island. Is this the beginning of a new labor movement? We
really certainly hope so, and that is a big thing that motivates us and keeps us going. You know, we've been told by other union organizers that until Starbucks started, like youth organizing, that the food service industry has just been considered ununionizable because high turnover, the workers are so burnt out they don't have the energy to fight for these things. We really want to show workers, not just at other Starbucks, but everywhere else in the food service industry, every other retail job in the country, that you can organize your store, and you should. You should fight for yourself and for the people who come after you.
What's step number one if someone wants to follow your lead?
If you're at a Starbucks, easiest step one, get in touch with Starbucks Workers United. They will hook you up. They will get you the info that you need. If you are at a retail store or a non-Starbucks store, just Google what your local unions are. Union organizers are amazingly passionate people in my experience, and I promise if you reach out to one of them, even if they're not the person you should be talking to, they'll know who it is, and they will help you get in contact.
And what is your proposal for customers, for the communities? How can we support you?
Coming out to events like these when you hear them is a great way. When you hear about a strike, just show up. Even just like your presence on the street is amazing and so valuable for us. And when you hear about, we have a relief fund to support our workers who are experiencing these hour cuts, also so that we can go on strike without having to choose between going on strike and paying rent. Donating to those funds is amazing. Just talk about unions openly and freely, retweet, reblog, anything you hear, just get the word out, talk to people.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Seattle is a union town. Get up, get down. Seattle is a union town. Get up, get down.
So, Katie, hi.
Hi.
Here's a strike going on from Starbucks today, but this is not your Starbucks.
No, I'm actually from Lakewood Crossing out in Marysville. We just finished our 3-day strike.
A 4-day strike?
Yes, technically, 4 days.
Fantastic. How did you do that?
So we basically organized pretty much overnight. That night, we walked out of the store, we went to my house and we started drawing up signs, making flyers, creating a list of demands, and just communicating with partners, seeing what they wanted to see out of Starbucks. And then we planned a strike for 8 or 10 a.m. the next day, and we had a pretty big turnout for it being planned basically overnight.
What are your demands?
So some things from our list of demands is basically 10 hours scheduled between shifts, strict following of up-to-date labor laws. We have seen partners missing breaks, basically, I would open and then I would close the next day, or vice versa. I would close and then open the next day, and it's really harsh on partners and just their mental health and their physical well-being to work those kinds of hours. Another thing is more accessibility within stores. We have partners who are disabled, and Starbucks claims to be a very progressive and a safe place for disabled partners, and it really hasn't been. We have a partner that has asked for VRI services to be able to communicate with customers, and he's been with the company for almost 6 months and has not seen those services. So we're calling on Starbucks to actually be more progressive. We're also calling for a $20 an hour wage. We believe that Starbucks has the funds. We've definitely seen that they have the funds. They gave Kevin Johnson a 39% raise and a 24% revenue increase, yet I've been with the company for over a year and have not seen a pay increase.
And what was the outcome of your 4-day strike?
So we on the 4th day, we shut down our store and collected 70% of our union cards, and we filed for a union election.
Oh, congratulations. So you're at the beginning of all of that with the NLRB.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right.
We kind of started backwards, I've noticed. We started with the strike, the big bang, and then we filed for our union election. But I feel like that is how you create that credible strike threat. That's how you show corporate you're not playing around and you're not willing to play their games anymore. So, yeah.
Have you experienced already some retaliation, some union busting?
We have noticed, so we were without a manager for we were told it could be up to 6 months before we got a new manager. The day after we got back from our strike, we all of a sudden had a new store manager. And she's been scheduling one-on-ones with our partners. We've also been noticing hours slowly starting to drop with partners that were openly out at the strike and supporting. And it's definitely, I can tell it's going to get worse from here, but we're ready. We're super ready at our store. We've been reading articles, and we've just been preparing each other for what's about to come, because they're going to do as much as they can to disrupt the union in our store, and we're just not going to let that happen.
Starbucks workers in Buffalo filed for union. Now we have the Staten Island, Amazon, we see Verizon workers.
And Everett and Linwood yesterday won their election. Super exciting.
Is this the beginning of a new labor movement?
I hope so. I think that labor movements are the future. They've been the past and they are the future now. Workers are ready to organize and stand in solidarity with each other and show that corporations that we are the ones who make the profits. We're the one who's running the companies, not them. They're the faces, but we are the ones truly making the profits.
If all your dreams were to come true, what would happen tomorrow?
We would be a unionized store making $20 an hour.
Thank you so much,
Yes,
and good luck.
Thank you.